Y'all, hope y'all enjoying y'all day. Today the message is help the Holy Spirit help you. You know, Exodus 14:14, the Lord shall fight for you and you shall hold your peace. You got to hold your peace. A lot of times situations happen, circumstances happen, life catches us by surprise. Again, I always say life never catches God by surprise, but you got to hold your peace. And what happens is sometimes in life, we drop our peace not knowingly. You know what I'm saying? Not knowingly, like holding on that you just won't let go. Like if you almost got like a pit bull and something in their mouth and you wrestling with them and what I'm saying, they just won't let go. Like that type of grip. Like I'm not letting nobody, take my peace. Like I'm not letting nobody, Mark 4:24, it says, consider carefully what you hear. He continued, with the measure you use, it will be measured to you and even more. We got to be careful what we hear and who we listen to. 1 John 4:1, it's the message. My dear friends, do not believe everything you hear. Carefully weigh and examine what people tell you. Not everyone who talks about God comes from God. There are a lot of lying preachers loose in the world. See, we just ain't talking about just church. See, a lot of times people just say, oh, when you talk about preachers, no. There's people outside the church that preach. You know what I'm saying? There's people just be preaching that sound good and it's not from God. Like I saw a post on Facebook. It said, all right, it was just talking about, all right, if you say you love Jesus, amen. If you don't, bad luck. First of all, luck ain't even in the Bible. The word is blessed. The world likes to take the words from the Bible and then translate them to whatever else they feel like they want to. So we got to be careful with something like that. Or if it said if you don't scroll down, or if you don't like this, saying you'll have bad luck. Or like I seen another one, they have like 4 pictures and they'd be like, like this if you love God, but then it shows a picture of almost like a half naked woman or something like that. God would never put would want a picture up there showing a naked person, to actually put a temptation in front of somebody. Because think about it like this. Let's just say somebody is struggling with pornography in their marriage and they want to they want to get better, and so they want to stay from that. And then all of a sudden they see that and almost have like a relapse. God wouldn't put that there. God ain't gonna put that there. People just sharing stuff, and see that's the tricks of the enemy. People just sharing stuff and what? Yeah, because I love God, I'll just say that. We got to be careful what we watch. Verse 2. Here's how you test the genuine spirit of God. Everyone who confesses out his faith, Jesus Christ, the Son of God, who comes as an actual flesh and blood person, comes from God and belongs to God. Luke 8:18. So pay attention to how you hear. To those who listen to my teaching, more understanding will be given. But for those who are not listening, even what they think they understand will be taken away from them. Because, like I said, people will allow, well, not allow, but situations that happen, a person to do somebody wrong, or let's just say, saying somebody in the like a Christian, because again, I'll tell people there's 2 types of Christians. Says somebody who's claiming they're a Christian can do somebody wrong, and then what happened is a person say, you know what, I don't believe in Jesus, I don't believe in God because of how this person treated me. But again, there's 2 types of Christians. There's ones that are led by the flesh, which is carnal mind. There's ones that are led by the spirit, which is life. You know what I'm saying? And so the difference is, because it says we all, we're allowed to get angry, and sometimes we offend not knowingly. But, if you do somebody wrong, God will listen. Any man or woman that claim they from God, God will check them and say, you know what, you were wrong. You need to go talk to that person. You know what I'm saying? So at that point, like I used to be, because sometimes, people say hurtful things. I say hurtful things back, and then I went and I apologize, because it wasn't about me. It was about doing the right thing. And, some instances that person didn't apologize back to me or whatever like that. But you know what? I represent, I represent God. So I don't got time for no drama. It's like, I always put hashtags 2018. But, when they don't listen to God and they don't go and apologize, because, that's where pride comes in, and apologizing doesn't make the person right. Sometimes we can be right with the wrong tone. Sometimes we can be right with the wrong demeanor. Proverbs 3:13. It says, happy is the man who finds And happy is the man who finds and the man who gains understanding. Verse 14, for her proceeds are better than profits of silver, and her gain than fine gold. So, I mean, think about it like this. People say, oh, well, money, I need more money. Like, what good is money if you don't know how to manage it? Because you could put yourself in more debt, you know what I'm saying? And not saying that, money doesn't solve problems, certain problems, whatever like that, and pay for bills and things like that. But it's just saying, like, what good is it to have all that money and you don't have, you don't have peace or joy, because I believe money can buy you temporary happiness. You know what I'm saying? Because you can buy something and then you'll be happy. But let's look at the differences. Happy, definition, feeling or showing pleasure or contentment. Joy, a feeling of great pleasure and happiness. Like, that's why it says in Nehemiah 8:8-10, for this day is holy unto the Lord. Don't be sorry. The joy of the Lord is your strength. Like, I'd rather have joy than temporary happiness. Like, you really want joy, because you can have joy when you're unhappy. Because you can see something, you might not like the circumstance or the situation that happened, but you can still have joy. And so I just want to tell somebody, be careful with what you are listening to, or, that's why God said, so putting in terms that people can understand it. People say, I'm not being around, they say positive vibes. Yeah, some people are just negative, and they're just conditioned like that because they just feel like life is always like that. That's why misery loves company. That's why people try to get happy when they see somebody else going through, because what they really want to say is, I really want this joy that you have, but I don't know how to get that. So I feel like, because they be like the laws of, attraction and the laws of, transfer and stuff like that. So when they talking about these laws and things like that, because you're talking about transferring. So they be like, well, you know what? I'm gonna make them upset so I can be happy. But then they're never fulfilled. That temporary happiness is never fulfilled, because they don't have that joy. That's why people hate on people that are successful in their eyes, because that's what they really want to do. Some people are just really unhappy with themselves, and they never look at themselves. They never look in the mirror and say, I need to fix this. They always focusing on somebody else, or always blaming somebody else. At some point, some people have to take accountability for their actions, and some people just don't. But like I said, hurt people. That's why when you see somebody with issues, you are supposed to pray for them. If you do not pray for them and you just tell everybody and stuff like that, that is gossiping. You're supposed to take it to God, because God said, whatever you do in secretly, I will reward you openly. We're supposed to pray for them because they don't know no better. Some people are just really walking around here sick and don't even know it. So be careful what you watch, because you can watch certain things, you can listen to certain things and music and stuff like that, and it can cause you to drop your peace. And that's why you got to hold on to it. That's why I said Jesus is the Prince of Peace. The Prince of Peace. So I just want to say that today and just be a blessing to somebody, and just know, don't drop your peace. And if you dropped it, pick it back up. Because like I was telling somebody, if you love God, that God has given you a promise. Romans 8:28. All things work together for good for those who are called according to his purpose, for those that love him. So that means that if you love God, no matter what it is, it's all going to work out to your good. Now, you might not see it, but God is working it out. That's what he's doing, because certain things taste better in the oven versus the microwave. And sometimes we want a microwave blessing, but God takes his time, and so we can sit and read his word, so we can understand, what? It's going to get better. You know what? God is already working on it. That's why when we can see that, there's construction and somebody's building something, the work has to be done. And we don't watch that person the whole time while they build it, unless you work at the construction site. But you know what I'm saying? So God is laying down work, but he's also teaching you how to hold your peace while you wait for the manifestation, the finished product. Just like if you ask somebody, okay, so I want this, you go to the store, you go to the McDonald's or something, you ask for a special sandwich. It's going to take more time than a normal sandwich that they have, because it's specially ordered. So God has a special blessing for you, but you got to hold your peace. And you got to listen to the right things, and you got to fill up. You got to follow the right people. You might have to unfriend some people on Facebook. Oh, well, or unfollow them. No drama. 2018. Love y'all. God bless.